Welcome to Black Girls Texting. Tea is steadily spilled in our group chat, and each week we're letting you in on it. I'm Chels Pinky.
I'm Glenn at Bed-Stuy Brat.
And I am Sade. You can find us at Black Girls Texting. And welcome to the fourth and final episode of our Wellness Wednesday series. It's crazy to think that we're on EP4. It's bittersweet. But we are so lucky to be joined by Sasha Whitney. Sasha is a fitness and wellness enthusiast. She leads meditations, which we'll get more into a little bit later. She's a fellow podcaster. You can find her podcast, Sasha Spins, on Spotify and Apple. And Nigerian too.
Yes.
I just threw all your information out there, but welcome, Sasha.
Thank you. I'm so happy to be here. It's actually funny. The first time we talked, I don't meet a lot of Sade. So Sade is a very Nigerian name. So when we first talked, I was like, is this my Niger sis? Like, hey, Sade. So yes, I'm really excited to be here. Thank you guys for having me. Thank you out to our voices, Black Girls Texting. I'm so excited to be here today.
We're super excited to have you. So I don't know if you've heard our pod in the past, but we play this game called On Read or Reply. Every single podcast is like a quick fire game. Essentially, if you are here for something in support of it, you would reply. And if you're like, no, thank you, you would just leave it on read. So we've decided to give this a wellness spin. So a lot of our on read or replies are like wellness themed. So the first one is wellness retreats. Would you leave that on read or reply?
I'm actually the world's worst texter. Literally, I respond to everything in 2 to 17 business days. So even if I love it, it may be left on read for a minute. But wellness retreats, I'm going to say we're replying. I think those are absolutely amazing. The time frame is, I get my little 3 to 4 days before I'm like, all right, let's wrap this up. But I like them. We're replying.
Have you ever been on one?
I have. It was it was for 2 days and it was really nice. And I really took a lot. It was one of those weekend retreats. I went on one a couple of years ago at this point, and I really got a lot from it. So I thumbs up to that.
Yeah, same. Thumbs up. I want to go on one.
Yeah, I've never done it. I want to do one, but I want it to be one where you just get massages all day. Yeah. Like that kind of one. And just really fresh food.
I like it.
Maybe a light stretch in the morning, a walk.
Exactly. And then you only have maybe one roommate, so you're only sharing the bathroom with another person, because after college I can't do group showers. I just can't. Group bathrooms, I just can't do it. And I'm sharing a bathroom with my husband is already kind of a struggle enough. So I'm only one person. That's it.
We need a BGT wellness retreat soon to come.
I'll keep your eyes peeled. I think we
right
should get into
that. So this one's a little strange. I've recently learned about this. Bee sting therapy.
On read. I do not like bees. There is this, oh God, what is that Netflix special? There's this wellness Netflix
Unwell?
special. Yes, Unwell. Yeah. So it's on right now. And I saw there was a bee sting episode, and I made my way halfway through it before I was like, I got to turn this off. Everybody, has their own perspectives of wellness, but I saw it and I was like, we're going to have to leave that on read. I was not a fan of it. I was not a fan. It's this is a little weird.
Definitely is. And I don't know about that. We have this joke where we're like, okay, we're not going to wellness shame. But that one is that's intense.
It was very aggressive, and I don't like bees. Bees will be walking, or they'll be buzzing around me, and I'm trying to stand still and be okay, don't swat it because it'll come back more aggressive. But I'm I can't fathom being stung by a bee on purpose. And then when I was younger, actually when I was 5 or 6, I got stung by a bee and the entire area swelled for 3 days. So I don't know if I'm allergic to them, but I don't think I want to experience that again. So I'm nah, I'm good. There's so much other wellness methods out there that's one I'm totally fine leaving on read forever.
Forever.
I think we can all agree on that one.
Yes.
The last one, knowing you instruct spin, I recently learned about spin karaoke. So you are spinning, and I guess you're singing.
Okay.
What are our thoughts on that?
My thoughts on that as a spin coach, it is one of those things that I can definitely see upping your cardio endurance, your cardio game. But I also sound terrible when I'm on the mic singing. So unless you have like an amazing voice, like unless you're like, I don't know, Jennifer Hudson or Aretha Franklin up there, like do it up. But like me with the voice that I have, I would have to, it could be fun. It could be fun. But like those people, you're in karaoke and everybody's having fun. And then there's that one person that gets up there and it's like, this is their life's work and they're super serious about it. And then they make it not fun for everyone else because they're like, this is how they're trying to get discovered. I feel like that's what.
I was going to say, Sade. She has outfits. She's posing in different parts of the room, moving the microphone around.
Yeah. You would be the person in spin karaoke that would get up there and make everyone feel bad about themselves. Like, dang, she is super talented and we are just here struggling with our struggle cardio. But I will say, I like that. So we're going to reply to that. I think it would be fun.
Yeah, I'm replying. That kind of reminds me of like, didn't Beyonce have to like sing while running on a treadmill or something?
I did not, I can imagine that though, because she like her performances, I've never been to a concert, but I've watched her performances and
You've never been to a Beyonce concert?
I've never been to a Beyonce concert. I'm one of those like hyper bougie people though. I like seated concerts. I like to be sitting. Your girl doesn't like to be standing for long periods of time. So as long as I can sit, I'm fine. But a lot of her concerts, they look like they're standing and I'm just not here for that. But I watched them and she's an amazing performer. She's like, they're dancing, like doing full routines. So I think the only way to train for that, honestly, is to probably hop on a treadmill and sing the entire time. Like that's phenomenal. Yes. Wouldn't even put that past her.
I think that's what she does. I would 100% do this. I need to find this because like I've been in Soul Cycles or even like on the Peloton and like I'm like, hey, blah, blah, blah. I'm singing, I'm like doing my thing. It can't be anything like crazy. Like I'm not trying to be like and doing it, but definitely like a nice, like an R&B ballad spin. That sounds amazing.
Now I'm you have your whole red. What are we talking about?
What? That's so fun. And it's probably good for your lungs.
Me at all. Yeah, I guess it would be good for your lungs. I just don't see how anybody could actually like get their song out in the way, like in a good way. I just think it would just like, how are you? You're just like, and then you get it. Like you're not like I'm not really
exactly. Like, that's exactly what
Ariana the way I want to sing her.
It's right, but that's the fun part of it.
Fun part. You're not being, you're not trying to win a Grammy, but
that's fun. You can't even sing the song. Like really,
you could totally sing the song, and it's not like you can like ride at different RPMs, like a good your walking pace, like left, right. That's like I listen to music now in instructor brain, so that's like a good 60 BPM RPM. You can like totally sing at this pace, like. I can see you. I'm not even going to try the Beyonce Halo or whatever, but you can sing it at this pace, just at that walking pace, that's 60 RPM. You can do it.
I love that you said that you hear music that way because I often hear music in like a biking brain. I'm like, oh, this would be like such a lit song to do like a ride to, and then like the different moves you would do on the bike.
Exactly, like a cool tap back or like a sway side to side or like a good jog or maybe like a nice hill. Like that is how I listen to music now. Like it's seriously, it's so funny that you say that because I only know like other instructors that hear music that like that. So I'm glad that like other people hear music in that way.
Because I can only get into the ride if I bangs with the music. If I don't, I'm like, this is not it.
That's exactly what motivated me to go out and get certified. The music choices of a select coach. And that's another story for another day, or maybe we'll tell that story today. I don't know, but the music is so key. It's so key. I'm with you there.
Oh my gosh. With that being said, can you tell us like more about yourself? Like what wellness is for you? How did you even get into everything that you do? Because you do a lot.
Yeah, that's honestly, I feel like it's like the Gemini in me that's like, I like this and I like that. I want to do this. I want to do that. Like my mom is like, you are just so steeped in everything and you've always been like that. And it's like amazing. Like my mom, I know she like feels so many types of ways about it, but now that I'm grown and out of her house, I think she can like appreciate it now. Before, when I was younger, I was like, I want to do all the things. And she's like, sit down. And it's like in my heard like Igbo voice, so she's like, Sasha, sit down. So so that being said, I am Nigerian. My parents are Nigerian. They emigrated here to America in the 80s. And so I'm the child of Nigerian immigrants. So I'd like to say I'm literally African American, Nigerian American. So I was born in Texas, but I was raised in Maryland. I live now in the DC area. So I've been here like most of my life, and I really love it here. I'd love to move, but like I really love this area, like Chocolate City. So yeah, I podcast. I teach teach indoor cycling. I facilitate guided meditations. So it's funny, what got me into cycling was the music choice, because there was this instructor that I used to go to, and her music choice wasn't always like 100%, but she had such good energy, and I'm a big energy person. If I can like vibe your energy, I'm there with you. So we walk into class one day, and the first class is a country song. And it's not like boppy Taylor Swift country, like, now we got bad blood. No, it was like twangy, twangy, tractor. And I was like, oh my God. And this is like the first song. It was, girl, it was terrible. So I was like, oh my God, do I stay? Do I go? Is it going to get better? But I'm like, I don't want to leave. I was in the front row. I was like almost dead center. So there was no way I could have discreetly left, right? So, I was like, okay, it's the first song. There's 40 other minutes to get through this, right? So then the second song was another country song. And I was like, what? Is this a country theme, Brian? I totally missed it.
Did you sign up for a country ride?
I didn't sign up for the country ride. I was like, I legit just thought I was going to come here and get my spin class on. So I was like, we got to go. So I never again. But that is what, because I'd been thinking about like, going out and getting certified, because I love, this was like maybe 5 years ago at this point, about 5.5 years ago at this point. So I've been thinking about coaching, but like sometimes you like self-sabotage yourself, or you talk yourself out of something before you allow yourself to get the opportunity to even try. So I was like, after that class, I was like, I got on my computer, I looked up certifications in the area, and I went and got certified like 4 months after that. I was like, I'm done. So, but another aspect of like me wanting to go out and like finally pull myself into the fitness space, not as just like a client, but to actually like lead, was that this is DC, right? I'm taking a lot of classes in DC, and we call it Chocolate City. But in a lot of the studios, I would be the only Black person in the classes or in the space. Yes, in DC, of all places, I would be the only Black girl there. And I don't know if people were not used to Black women being in those spaces, because like some of the people just ignored me. Some were nice, they'd be like, hey, how are you? You see someone often enough, you just extended hello. But some of them, a lot of them would ignore me. And then others, I think that they were so not used to seeing us in that space as equals, because they would come up to me and they'd be asking me questions like, how do I buy a package? And how do I set up my bike? And can you help me do this? Or can you clean off my bike for me? And I'm like, wait a minute, like, do they think I'm here in a help capacity? Because I think for a lot of, a lot of white people in certain spaces, if they're not used to seeing Black people or other people of color in that space, and the only time they see them in that space is in some type of position of servitude to them, they automatically assume that's what you're there for. So I think some of them assume that's what I was there for. So I wanted to like change that narrative. I'm a big believer in creating the spaces that you want to be in and that you want to see. So I was like, I know that there are Black women in fitness. There are Black women here. There are Black women that are taking these classes, but maybe they're not coming because they don't see themselves being represented. So if they see me in these spaces and they see me leading the space, maybe they will be more wanting to come to the spaces or feel more comfortable. So that's also what kind of motivated me to get started, because, you look at a lot of fitness studios, you look even a lot of wellness spaces, they're very white leaning, you see a lot of white representation, but you don't really see a lot of Black representation or other people of color. So that's kind of also what motivated me to like really step into this and like take it from a passion, like a hobby, to something that I lead, I create that space. So Yeah, that was like a very roundabout the way of like getting to the point, but yeah.
No, it's beautiful. And that's so true. I remember I actually used to work at a spin studio. Sade would come and get a lot of free classes when I was working there.
The
Um,
hookup.
but yeah, like the space was overwhelmingly white. And like it was just like I could see how a space like that would deter Black women or Black people from even choosing to take a spin class because they're just, the only one. So it's so important that you've created that space.
Yeah, thank you. And it's like so funny now. I've been doing this for so long that it was happening on like a monthly basis that I would get a new like Black girl in my class. And after class, she would be, they would come up to you. I'm like not trying to martyr myself or make myself sound like Beyonce or amazing or anything like that. But they come up to you and they're like, it was so impactful for me to see you up there with your natural hair, with your braids, or just you like speaking as you like you. I feel that. And I've been coming here for 2 years or 3 years or to other studios, and I've never seen myself up there. And it's so nice to be able to see yourself. And then they come back and they bring a girlfriend with them. And then that girlfriend brings like maybe 2 more friends. And that's how you build that community. And it was just so impactful, especially in DC. You would think that, there's so much Black talent, Black culture, Black like, it's just blackity black, it's amazing. And to not see that in like a fitness space, and it's like, wait a minute, Black girls work out, we lift, we run, we yoga, we cycle, we do all of these things. So why are we not here? And yeah, just building the spaces that you want to see yourself in, a space that you just bring more people to the table. And that's how I got into wellness. I just wanted to create a bigger table for people.
I love that. And if you want to talk about getting it in on the bikes and some of the playlists and the classes, like
yes.
Black girls turn up. Like,
yes,
I'm obsessed with this one instructor on Peloton. Her name is Tunde.
I love Tunde. She's
okay.
Yes,
she's incredible, and I love that. Like her classes, she's like, "This is Burna Boy. This is Afrobeats. Afrobeats comes from this, this, and that. In case y'all didn't know, and if you're acting like you've never heard this, you have, because it's everywhere you walk around, you hear this type of music, but this is what it is."
She said that on the Peloton videos?
In the Peloton video.
Like, oh my gosh, I love how she reps her culture so hard and just stands firmly in who she is, because that's something that I really established early on. I told myself I was going to go into these spaces as myself. I was not going to try to be someone else. I'm not going to try to appeal to people. Either you like me or you don't. And some people are definitely like, I didn't like that she played that island song, or I didn't understand the lyrics, and I didn't like rap music. Like, one guy wrote this very detailed email about how he didn't appreciate the rap music and stuff. And I'm like, well, there are 7 other instructors on the schedule. Like, I'm sorry, like I'm me. And if you don't like it, that's fine. You don't like it, and that's okay. But you don't gotta come to my class. So so yeah, like, people are either gonna like you or they're gonna love you. But I never wanted to go into this space like trying to appeal to everybody, because I'm like, you're not for everybody, and that's totally okay. Like,
I'm obsessed. So your podcast is called Sasha Spins. So
yeah.
What is it all about? I haven't listened yet. It's on the docket, but can you let the people know?
Yeah, so it's like called Sasha Spins. It's basically like the tagline for it is everything, my life, in and out of the saddle, and everything in between. So life, current events, just everything, because I'm like a very talkative person, and I listen to, I love listening to different podcasts, but I didn't really find any that incorporated what me, like fitness, wellness, health, cycling, relationships, like love, friendships, all of these things. And like, it's a lot of different topics, but like some days I'm like, okay, or some episodes I want to talk about cycling, and that's what we talk about. Some days I want to talk about wellness, that's what we talk about. Really, like, over the past 6 months, I would say like the podcast itself has kind of become, because our world has shifted tremendously. So what I cover has shifted to kind of respond to how our environment is changing. So we've had like this summer of anti-racism and education and bringing certain things to the forefront. And I feel like a lot of people are very uncomfortable talking about these things. And I could have easily been like, you know what? I just like, everybody's about their like Instagram feed and curating their Instagram feed to like this aesthetic. And if something doesn't fit their aesthetic, they don't want to talk about it. And I'm like, that's not who I am as a person. I'm going to talk about what I want to talk about in my podcast. I talk about what I want to talk about and things that are currently on my mind. So it occurred to me that for a lot of the studios that I'm in or studios that I was coaching at, I'm probably the only Black person a lot of these clients interact with in any kind of like significant capacity. And so if these people are going to kind of learn something, I want to be a voice. Like, I don't want to just passively stand by and be like, nothing's happening, everything's fine, like fitness, wellness, that's it. I wanted to talk about a lot of the things that were going on this summer. So I covered that because people were like coming to me with like, oh, I want to talk to my family, I want to talk to my friends, but I don't know how to say this. And I don't really have any Black friends. So you're my fitness instructor, you're my cycling coach. Can I talk to you about this? And I'm like, if these people are coming to me in my DMs about this, I wonder how many other people don't have somebody to come to, like like I don't want any Black person to feel like it's on them to talk, to educate anybody. So if that's not your place, but I always felt like if they're coming to me, they're genuinely coming to me, and the least I can do is point them in the right direction or help them or have a conversation with them. So that's something that I've been talking about on my podcast a lot, like how we use our voice, how we use our platform, how we use our time, our energy, our resources to make this world a better place, and just taking it off of Instagram and like implementing it in your real life. So like, I feel like Instagram, you only get like that little box to put your captions in. So if something is like heavy on my heart, I'll post it on Instagram, and then I'll also podcast about it. So it was a very like long-winded way of answering that, but basically I'm like, what you see on my Instagram is basically what you'll like see on my podcast. So like the podcasts are like kind of fleshing out the things that I'm talking about on Instagram. So
that's so dope. And I think something that you touched on was like, people want to compartmentalize and be like, oh, no, we're just doing fitness and wellness. But wellness as a Black person, being well and seeing Black people die every day. And then I'm supposed to come in and just like ride on a bike with you and be like, find your zen. And no, like, what?
Exactly. 100%. I get that, because these are things that are like impacting me, and they may not be impacting 90% of the people that I'm looking at. But just because it's not impacting you doesn't mean you shouldn't care. And it doesn't mean that I should have to shrink myself and compartmentalize myself and my reality so you're uncomfortable. You're not uncomfortable. Like I feel like a lot of the time, and I've even seen this on my fellow instructors' pages or Instagram pages when they're talking about things. Now people are like, just talk about, why are you talking about this? Like, talk about cycling, or I didn't come to your page to see this. It's like, when Laura Ingraham said about LeBron, like, he just needs to play basketball, like dribble the ball and shoot. And he's not like, and I'm like, girl, it doesn't matter if it's not his lane or he doesn't have 3 degrees or whatever, the degrees in this and the experience. Like, as a Black person, you have the experience to talk about what's going on in Black America. And it's not only going on in Black America, it's going on in America, period. It's just not, you don't want to hear about it because you don't agree with it. So yeah, I think like that compartmentalizing, it's just not for me, for better or for worse. I could be better at it, but I choose to kind of just put it out there.
Love it. And it's who you are. Like you said, I decided I was going to show up as myself. And I feel like a lot of times as Black people, especially when you navigate a lot of white spaces, it's very easy to fall into this like comfortable Black, code switch, gendering manner, because you're like, ugh, I don't have to, I can just turn that side of my brain on and just go through my day. But like, we're not doing that.
Yeah, we're not. And it's really like, I like how
early 90s.
Yeah, exactly. That's very like Cher, like, Clueless. And we're not doing that right now. We're not doing that. Exactly. We are the hate you give. We're moving forward. Okay. Like that's how we're walking into this. But no, I really liked how though you touched on like it is a part of your wellness because we are existing in like a very stressful time. And I feel like, you know, some people when they think about wellness, they think about, oh, it's only your physical health or it's your mental health. But like there's so many things that come together to form holistic wellness. It's the foods you're eating, how much sleep you're getting, your mental wellness, your spiritual wellness, how your body is moving, what you're eating, what you're putting in your body. Like there's so many things that come together to form wellness that if something is going on in my reality, I can't ignore it because it impacts my overall wellness, you know?
Yeah. And I think there's something that's very dangerous about, you know, stifling all that stuff and just keeping it all inside. I saw this post and it was just like, many of your Black coworkers, you know, are coming on Zoom meetings and acting like everything is normal when everything is not normal. You know,
Yeah.
things are not okay. And,
Yeah.
you know, we have to move away from that culture where you just like pretend that things are okay when they're not.
Yes. And then like I am a big believer in the fact that things that we don't express and get out and work through, they manifest in our body. And so I think that when we feel, again, it comes back to that wellness, like that holistic wellness, when you are not able to express and release, you trap it inside. And if you ever notice, like I carry a lot of my stress and my tension in my shoulders and my neck. So throughout the day, I'm always like consciously telling myself like, Sasha, release. Yeah, like we instinctively, as soon as I said that, everyone's like body shifts. You're like, roll your shoulders down and back, open up your chest. You know, like if you don't release or talk about these things that are happening, it will turn inward and then it will just hold you down. It's almost like this weight, you know, that you're carrying or this stress and this tension within your body. So, and that's not, you know, wellness at all. Like, so, and I almost feel like the reason why we are so sick as a country is because we don't talk about these things. We don't let them out. We just let them metastasize in our body, like in our collective body of our nation. And then we have all these stress points and these tension points, and they flare up and they flash. And we talk about these things and they're in the news cycle for like 4 to 6 weeks, and then we forget about them. You know, we take our Tylenol, we take, you know, it soothes a headache. It doesn't treat the headache, it soothes the headache. So
you over here dropping bars, and I feel like this is the perfect time to transition into a meditation. But before we do, I'd love for you to also kind of share what that work has been like for you, how you got into guiding meditations and that practice.
Yeah, so meditation as a whole, it has been like so impactful to my life. And I didn't realize when I was like thinking about it, you know, just the practice of meditation itself, I've been meditating for years. And I used to have really bad insomnia as a kid, and my mom took me to the doctor, and he was like, okay, Sasha, try to turn off your body little by little. You know, focus on your legs, and from focus on your toes, and then from your toes, you work yourself up to your leg, and then your pelvis, you know, and you just kind of like just be aware of your body. And that right there, like at 6 or 7, you're not thinking this is mindfulness or this is a meditation. You're just thinking, I need to get to sleep, because what is this first grader thinking about? What is stressing me out in the first grade? You know, a lot of things are going on in first grade. So, and then like fast forward like 15 years after that, I found yoga. And I think, you know, wellness, yoga is one of those things that has been westernized and co-opted in our world to just like a physical practice. But yoga itself is a holistic practice. It's not only physical, it's very mental, it's very spiritual, it's very meditative. And so when I found yoga, I also found meditation, because it was like one of those things where they just clicked, both of them together. And, you know, I grew up Catholic, so I pray, and, you know, that's great. You're like talking, but with meditation, it's like you're just into yourself. You're just fully still, fully present in the moment, and just trying to just be here, just be connected to your thoughts, your mind, your body, all of those things. And so when I found yoga, it allowed me to find meditation. And with meditation, it has brought like this awareness to my life. Before, I used to be like very reactive. Like if you said something to me and I didn't like it, I'd be like, well, your mom is a hoe. And I'm like, what? Like, what? And then in hindsight, I'd be like, Sasha. Like, you find like this kind of, okay, let's think before we react. Like, let's process why this is upsetting you. Just take a beat, take a moment, sit still, sit with your thoughts, maybe 5 minutes now. And that practice in and of itself, like, it's something that I've built on for like going on 10 years now. And so it's always something that, I read about, I did research on, just like trying to like fully step into this practice. But it wasn't until quarantine that I just had like the time to be like, okay, you know what? I want to facilitate these meditations. I want to start this. I want to do this. And it can be one person, it can be two people that just come here and we connect together and we just share, hold space for each other and just to give ourselves that time to meditate. So even though I've been doing the practice of meditation for 10 years now, and I found it just like, it really just like balances me. Like, it's so funny, the change that I see in myself, and I attribute that change to so many things, like obviously like maturity and recognizing you just can't pop off on people because it's not appropriate. But on top of that, it's just like meditation and just recognizing that not everything needs an immediate response, an immediate reaction. Just sit for a little bit and think. And that's the power of meditation that I found for it. It's really like just help me focus in a way to make me realize that what's happening now, it's not going to be happening forever. Just take every single moment, just be present in every single moment and allow yourself just that room to just be with your thoughts. And especially during quarantine with all the anxiety and just, I feel like we're just in like this powder keg, right? A lot of things are happening, a lot of feelings, a lot of emotions, a lot of tension. And I found that it has been like the perfect time for me to really do a deep dive into my practice. And this quarantine has been like, I don't want to say it's amazing because it sounds terrible. We are living in a stressful time. Like, coronavirus has ruined lives. Like, literally, I don't want to say this quarantine has been amazing, but it has really like showed me the power of meditation and how when you implement it in your daily life, the changes that you will see in yourself. So, yeah.
I'm ready to do it.
I'm ready for something. I'm definitely a your mama's a hoe type of girl too.
I was like, this sounds like Sade. But I definitely struggle with like being present and thing that I'm always trying to work on. So
yes, yeah. Because like we're living in this world where we're on Zooming and we're engaged and consistently, like, it's just a lot. And I think that we just need to like chill. And if there's anything that I've gotten from meditation, it's just chill. So we about to chill. Yes. So if we're like ready to do this meditation, I think we're ready already.
Yeah, let's do it.
All right. So before we even get started, I just want us, we've been talking a lot. We're sitting. I already brought up the shoulder thing. So right now, I just want everyone to kind of like take a big deep inhale. Just take a big inhale. Bring your shoulders up to your ears. And exhale, just drop them on out. Shake them on out. Like one more time, just give me that big deep inhale. Take your shoulders up to your ears. Exhale, drop them on down. All right, so we're going to get into it. We're going to meditate. So I want you to either find yourself in a nice seated position, or maybe you just cross your legs one over the other. Maybe you're on the ground, maybe you're in a chair. Just find yourself in a comfortable position wherever you are right now. I want you to gently take a nice long gaze down to the ground, or maybe you just flutter your eyes closed, whatever feels the most comfortable for you right now. And I just want you to start to take notice of your breath. Start to feel that inhale through your nose, that exhale through your mouth. We tend to breathe very shallow and cut off our breath right in our chest and our upper chest. I really want you to focus on inhaling into your diaphragm, feeling your belly fully expand on those inhales. And on those exhales, feel your belly fully flatten. As we go through our practice today, you may find yourself distracted by the noises in your home, in your apartment, maybe cars going by, your birds chirping, maybe your air conditioner going in and out. If you ever feel yourself distracted by these noises, just gently acknowledge them. And as quickly as you acknowledge them, just go ahead and gently push them away. Just allowing yourself to be fully present, fully rooted, fully engaged in this moment. Inhaling through your nose, exhaling through your mouth. Nice long inhales. Nice long exhales. And with every exhale, I want you to feel yourself become a little bit more comfortable. Feel yourself fully sinking into the ground. Maybe you take a neck roll to your left or to the right. Feel any tension in that upper body. Just go ahead and take any stretches, any movements that you need to while holding on to that inhale through your nose. And that exhale through your mouth. So as we find stillness again, before we begin our practice, I want to offer you an intention, this opportunity to set an intention for yourself, to set an intention for your practice. And if you don't have an intention readily coming to mind, I offer you the intention of healing. Allowing your breath to heal any places that you may be holding on to stress. We are currently existing in a very chaotic time, a very stressful time where we're moving from one thing to the next thing, to the next thing. And maybe we don't allow ourselves moments in the day to just practice stillness, to listen to our bodies, to release the things that bring us from a place of balance. So right now I offer you this intention of release, this intention of self-healing. And as you set that intention, I want you to just start to scan your body from the top of your head down to your toes. And as you scan your body, I want you to notice any places that you may be holding on to a little bit of stress, a little bit of tension. Any places that need maybe just a little bit more love today. Any blockages that you may be feeling. Just as you scan your body, notice any areas. And on your next inhale, I want you to send your right hand to any place in your body that you notice that you're holding on to any stress. And I just want you to gently place your hand there. And as you place your hand there, I want you to start to send breath to that space, fully inhaling through your nose, exhaling through your mouth. And with every exhale, I want you to start to release. Releasing any tension, releasing that stress. And on your inhales, you send your healing breath to those spaces, being fully intentional about fully releasing that breath and fully inhaling. A lot of the time we carry stress with us, and if we don't allow it to release itself, it goes inwards and hides in little places in our bodies that we may not be aware of. So now's that time to allow that tension, to allow that stress to fully release, to let it go. Bring yourself back into a place of balance, back into a place of peace. Holding on to that inhale through your nose. And if you've lost that breath or you feel yourself just start to become a little lightheaded, just shorten those inhales and shorten those exhales until you can come back to those full inhales through your nose and those full exhales through your mouth. I want you to take 2 more breaths like this. And on your last exhale, go ahead and gently remove your hand from that space, placing it back on your knee or maybe on the ground. And with your next inhale, if you noticed any other places with your opposite hand, I want you to just gently place your hand on that other space in your body that you may have noticed that tension. Maybe you're like me and hold some tension in your neck or your lower back. If that's where you're holding on to some tension, just gently place your hand there. And again, fully breathe into these spaces. And on that exhale, release that stress, release that no longer serves you. Anything that takes you out of a place of balance, anything that takes you out of place of your peace. Fully release that with our exhales. Allowing yourself to be present in this moment, fully grounded, fully centered. With every exhale as you release, sinking deeper into the ground. Honoring your breath, letting your breath guide you. Recognizing that you don't have anywhere to be but right here in this moment. And that anything else can wait. Taking this time to be fully here for yourself, fully present, fully grounded, fully rooted, fully feeling the power of your breath. Take 2 more breaths like this. And on your next exhale, I just want you to gently remove that hand, placing it back on the ground or on your knee, palm facing the ceiling, just taking a moment to breathe. Taking a moment to scan your body one last time, honoring your body, thanking your body for what it does, but also honoring your breath and thanking your breath. Recognizing that we enter this world on an inhale and we exit on an exhale. And every breath in between is a gift. So being thankful for that breath, thankful for your ability to inhale fully and exhale fully. We close out our practice. As we inhale, our arms up towards the ceiling, eyes still closed. Inhaling up. And exhale, drop your arms back down. One more big, deep inhale. Arms go up to the ceiling, clasping your hands at the top, bringing your hands down the heart center. I leave you with these final words to close out our practice today. No matter where you are, no matter what you're going through, you owe it to yourself to keep moving forward. Drop your hands down. Maybe wiggle your eyes open. Wiggle some life back into your toes. to your fingertips. Just coming back to present. Thank you guys for meditating with me today. Yeah.
That felt good.
Yeah.
That's so lovely.
I am glad to hear that. That is probably a meditation that I do 5 or 6 times a week, because really, and I find that I love to do it at the end of the day, because really there's so many things that happen and we're like moving so quickly throughout our day that we often don't allow ourselves that time to just be still, to be present. So that's one meditation that I do often, that I offer to y'all, and anyone listening, to just take throughout your day. And it doesn't have to be 10 minutes. In all honesty, I think that people think like this meditation practice, I got to be here for like 25, 30 minutes. And it's like, no, you literally can take like 3 minutes of your day to meditate, just 3 minutes to center yourself and just calm yourself down. So, yeah.
Wow, awesome. I know, I think we're all like, ooh.
So
right?
much. That felt so good. And I definitely have been thinking like I need to incorporate that more into my routine. And like you were saying, it's like it could be a short few minutes and just centering back.
Exactly. Sometimes my longer meditations, I'll go for like 15, 20 minutes, but that right there, you can shorten it to like 4 to 5 minutes, and it's just as impactful. I always tell people that too, because they're like, oh, I was only able to, meditate for 2 minutes. And I'm like, if 2 minutes is all you got, then it's all you got, in all honesty. It doesn't matter how much time you're doing it for, just as long as you're taking those moments to yourself. Because we all got obligations. I mean, I don't have any kids, but I know that, we all got jobs, we all got lives. Like, we are always doing things for others. So like, now is that time to just do for yourself. Like, again, it's part of our own wellness we take. I think that people are like, well, I exercise and I diet and I do all this stuff. Like, meditation is part of your wellness too. Journaling is part of your wellness. Like, there's so many wellness practices out there that we just have to make time for. Because I always tell people, if you have time to like post on Instagram, you have time to meditate, you have time to journal. So that's just where my mind is at. Yeah.
Thank you so much. Can you please let the listeners know where they can find you, and if you have anything coming up, just...
Yeah, so I coach cycling at Cycle Bar and Equinox. So if you're in the DC area and you feel comfortable coming, I know everyone's comfort level is different. So if you're ready to get your cycling back on and you want to grab a mask and put it on, I'm telling you that mask will up your cardio game. So if you are in the DC area and you want to come through and grab a class with me, definitely do that. I would love to have you. But if you're like, I'm gonna chill at home, totally fine. I'm always on Instagram at Sasha Spin, so you can find me there. And on Fridays, I do guided meditations. I facilitate guided meditations. They're at 5:30 EST on Fridays. And what I do, we do a meditation like this or any other type of meditations, restorative meditations, healing, working on our breath, just releasing any type of meditations. Well, it just really depends on what I'm feeling that day and what I feel like the need is. But we meet, we meditate. I like to journal. Like, we didn't journal today during our meditation, but I also like, to take it like 5 to 7 minutes to just journal and reflect. And then we just have a conversation. And basically it's like, hey, tell me how you're feeling, anything you're working on, working through. And if you're not comfortable doing that in a group environment, totally fine. Reach out. Like, I'm happy to do this one-on-one. And that's kind of like where I see myself going in the future, like hosting and just offering one-on-one meditation sessions to people. Like, I love this. I know the benefits that meditation has had in my life and just wellness in general. So that's something I want to start to offer. So if that's something that you're interested in, you can find me on Instagram at Sasha Spins. And that's also where my podcast is. I feel like everything is on Sasha Spins. So, so that's... Sorry, go ahead.
I was saying the brand is strong. It's Sasha Spins.
Exactly. That's where we're at here. Sasha Spins is a lifestyle. So
that's right, a lifestyle. Well, thank you so much. Again, big thanks to our OV fam. That was our 4th and final Wellness Wednesday. Something that I just thought about reflecting on the past 4 episodes is that we were able to have Black women, women of color present, speaking about wellness with us, and to have like Black and brown faces in all of these 4 squares for the month was just like so incredible. Because to your point, you walk into a lot of these spaces and you don't see us, and now we're like, hello, we're here. Like we keep going. We could do this another month. So it felt really good.
Exactly. And we've always been here. That's the thing. Like we've always been here, but now we're like finally amplifying Black voices. And that's so beautiful. It's so amazing because that's what brought me into this space in the first place. It's like, I want to see more people that look like me. And now like 4 or 5 years later, it's like, we've always been here, but now we really have that visibility. And that's like, that's so amazing. I'm like glad that you found joy in that. And I hope that is here to stay, that we are changing and diversifying the face of fitness and wellness and recognizing that it doesn't only look one way. It comes in all shapes, shades, and sizes. And that's beautiful. Love that.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for joining us. Y'all know where to find Sasha now. But y'all can find us always at Black Girls Texting. And again, a huge thanks to the OV fam for just allowing us to share this space and meet dope, beautiful women. And if you guys enjoyed, please let us know. You can always find our podcast and find more. And the relationship with the OV fam now has been established. Y'all know who we are. Y'all know what it is. So I'm sure you can stay tuned for more to come from us.
Yes.
Be well, y'all.
Be well.
Wow.
Bye.